What's going on, everybody? GemMint here with another omnibus haul, and we have a huge haul to go through today. Got to give a huge shout out to Marvel Comics for sending us an advanced copy of the Man-Thing omnibus, all new Wolverine, Ka-Zar, and the two trade paperbacks, the Morbius and the Dead Man Logan, and to Organic Price Books for the DC omnibus. They have quickly become a huge resource for omnibus collectors with competitive pricing, great packaging, excellent one-on-one customer service, and super fast shipping. If you use the code GemMint at checkout, you'll save $2 off your first order with organic priced books. Before we jump into the books, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Also, we're giving away a Spider-Man premium format exclusive statue by Sideshow Collectibles once we hit 125,000 subscribers. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll give you details on how to enter the giveaway. But for now, let's jump into the books. So let's start by taking a look at the two trade paperbacks. We have the Dead Man Logan. This is by Ed Brisson, Henderson, and Woodard. And we have the Morbius Epic Collection Volume 2. Alright guys, so the Dead Man Logan Complete Collection comes out May 5th. The Morbius Epic Collection Volume 2 comes out May 12th. This is by Ed Brisson, Henderson, and Woodard, and basically is the follow-up to Old Man Logan. It's the Old Man Logan universe. It collects the 12-issue series, and it has a $30 cover price, parental advisory, kind of like a Max title. Here goes the spine, and let's take a look at some of the art. All right, here we go. We got the intro pages here, part 1. Old Man Logan waking up. This is not one that I have read yet. I've read Old Man Logan, but I never picked this one up as it was coming out in single issues. But I do like the universe. They kind of went a little overboard because now you have like Old Man Quill and everything, right? But they took Mark Millar's universe and kind of fleshed it out a little bit. Looks like you have some bonus material in the back, including some variants, some Daily Bugle stuff. That's back from the Old Man Logan storyline. All right, so pretty cool that we get this in one complete trade paperback collection. And then Morbius, fitting, you know, with the movie coming out, The End of a Living Vampire. You got Doug Moench, Motlow Craft, Trinidad Buscema, Vosberg. So like I said, Volume 2, it collects Fear 27 through 31, Marvel Premiere 28, Marvel 2 and 115, Spectacular Spider-Man 6 and 7 plus 38, Savage She-Hulk 9 through 12, and material from Vampire Tales 9 through 11, with Annual 1 and Marvel Preview 8, with a $40 cover price. I believe the initial stuff here is in black and white, but then it gets into some color with some Bronze Age goodness. All right, so this is not black and white. There's something in here that's black and white for sure. So Morbius must have been a big hit back in the day, man. They had to call him the living vampire, couldn't be undead. That was against the Marvel's Comic Code Authority or whatever. I guess not Marvel, just the Comic Code Authority in general. Here's all the black and white stuff. So if you're a big Morbius fan, they got you covered with the Epic Collections. Look, you even had a 2-in-1 thing in Morbius. Definitely always caught up in the Spider-Man world. Here we go. The She-Hulk stuff like I mentioned, and so on. Let's see what bonus we have. I guess Morbius Revisited. These must have been comic book reprints, and they have the cover artwork for that. That's pretty cool. All right, let's jump into the omnibus with Tom Taylor's all-new Wolverine. This is Laura Kinney, X-23, taking over the mantle while Wolverine was dead during that brief stint during Marvel Comics history. This collects the 35-issue run plus an annual and some bonus material. Let's jump through and take a look at the all-new Wolverine. All right, on to all-new Wolverine. This is the regular cover by Ben Gall. The DM variant is by Adam Kubert, which I love as an artist, but I gotta say, this is one of the instances where I prefer the regular cover. This was the cover for issue 1 of this series, and I think it looks amazing. Tom Taylor doing the writing here. Here is the spine. I like that Wolverine logo, like it's being slashed in half, or the middle's being cut out, I should say. And like I said, issues 1 through 35 plus Annual 1, plus it has Generation Wolverine and All New Wolverine, which is by Tom Taylor. This omnibus has a $100 cover price. You see Laura Kinney on the back here. The inside of the dust jacket has your, typical biography on the book, and then little bios on all the creators. There was quite a few creators on this run. And here we have the graphic on the hardcover. That looks awesome. That's her slashing, like I said, the middle of that logo out. Here's the spine, same logo, different color. You have the X-Force style on the spine and on the back here. Looks great. I was reading this as it came out. I remember the first arc having to do with more clones and such. It was a very clone-heavy storyline. Here are the credits, and jumping into issue 1. The artwork is great throughout this series. That's a great shot too. And like I said, this was during the time where Wolverine was dead. I think I said he was dead for a stint, which it is in like the overall history of Marvel Comics, but I feel like Wolverine was dead for like 5 years. And X-23, the clone daughter of Wolverine, she took up the mantle. Eventually, Old Man Logan does show up in this run. Very cool to get these more modern runs in omnibus format, though. Got the modern type of artwork. See some Dakin action going on here. I didn't read the full run. I think I only read that first arc. But here we go. Now we have the full run for whenever I want to dive into it. Let's see what kind of extras we have. I think there's variant covers in the back. Let's see here. Here we go. Yeah, you have that whole design variant by Dave Lopez. You got the DMX Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, the action figure variant. The meme variant with Deadpool. It's cool to have all these in the back as well, because a lot of times you want to collect the variants, or you want every version of a book, so these omnis, to collect them all, especially like these Venomized variants, all those became very expensive. You have this connecting cover variant. Actually, great bonus material in this book. A Scotty Young variant. And I don't know if I forgot to mention, but this comes out on May 5th. All right, next up we have Ka-Zar the Savage Omnibus. I wasn't even aware this was an omnibus coming out, but this collects the entire 80s run by Bruce Jones. I didn't grow up really with Ka-Zar. I always knew about him from X-Men 10. That was his first Silver Age appearance. But anyway, I flipped through this. The artwork looks great, and let's take a look at it together. All right, and then we have Kazar the Savage. This comes out on May 19th. This is the regular cover, which is by Brent Anderson. He also did the DM variant cover, which is issue 2 of this series. I'm good either way on this one. This was a great looking regular cover. Doesn't look too off from the era of artwork, so that's cool. Here we have the spine, Kazar the Savage. You have him on the bottom here. And on the back, you have the entire 34 issue run of Kazar through the 80s by Bruce Jones and Brent Anderson, like I mentioned. But you have other creators here as well. $125 cover price on this book. And here we have the inside of the dust jacket. I read the biography. The synopsis of the story is interesting. It sounds interesting. Biography on the creators. Like I said, I just didn't grow up reading Kazar. I always looked at him like kind of like a Tarzan character. Same cover on the front of the book for the regular, but the DM cover is on the back here without the trade dress, so that's a nice little bonus to get. All right, let's flip through here. You have these green interior pages, nice cover page here. Credits for the writers, pencilers, inkers, colorists, and letterers. Then you have a table of contents. So 1981 to 1984, here's the first issue. And when you think Kazar, you might think, okay, that might be dated material. But hey, 80s stuff, nice big panels, great artwork. I like the traditional colors and inks for this era of comics. I don't really like digital as much as I liked the 80s and 90s stuff. So this one looks a little wordy on this page right here. But flipping through it, the artwork looks great. I just don't know that much about the character. He has that saber-tooth animal with him. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of just like a Tarzan character, a Conan type of character. I like this cover though, where you have the real New York skyline, like Twin Towers, straight 80s. Very cool. Let's see what they gave us in the back here of Kazar. I'm sure if you grew up with this character, this is going to be a must-have. So that's the final issue. Let's see. Look at this big artwork. Was that Deathlock? All right, so Marvel fanfare covers, sketches and covers, little what ifs. Looks like house ads. Zabu, that's right, that was his name. You got a little Pangea map, trade paperback cover, and that's it. All right, guys, on to the Man-Thing Omnibus. This was an out-of-print, hard-to-find, highly sought-after Omni for a long time, and it's finally getting a reprint here. This actually feels really light. I guess the paper stock being more of a paper non-gloss type gives it the lightweight kind of feel to it. We're going to do an overhead comparison to the first print, and we're going to take a look through this book, which collects a ton of different titles because it has Savage Tales, Astonishing Tales, Fear, Man-Thing, Monsters Unleashed, and more. So we'll flip through, we'll look at all the good contents. All right, the Man-Thing Omnibus comes out May 26th, so we got this one pretty early. Actually, I've been sitting on it for a couple of weeks as well. All right, so the new printing's on the left, and this is the regular cover by Ariel Alvietti. And on the right, my first printing was the DM variant by Frank Bruner. So looking at the spines, they're very similar, but the new printing has more of the logo, whereas the first printing has that traditional omnibus text, but the same graphic on the bottom. Price tag stayed the same, $125. Parental advisory is a little bit different. It looks like the new printing has smaller covers on the back, but otherwise it's the same stuff. Collects, like I said, Savage Tales issue 1, Astonishing Tales 12-13, Fear 10-19. Then you have Man-Thing, his ongoing series, issues 1-22, Monsters Unleashed 5, 8, and 9, Giant Size Man-Thing 1-5, Incredible Hulk 197 and 198, Rampaging Hulk 7, Marvel Team Up 68, Marvel 2 and 143, then Man-Thing, the second volume 1-11 with Doctor Strange 41. The interior of the dust jackets are identical, gives you a biography on Man-Thing, biography on the creators. However, on the new printing, they went ahead and put graphics on the hardcover, whereas the old school one was just all black with that black spine. So that's a difference there. And on the back, you have the regular cover on the back, and actually the DM is on the front, I'm pretty sure. So that's a nice addition to the new printing. All right, so let's flip through Man-Thing. Either Marvel's answer to Swamp Thing or Swamp Thing was the other way around. I'm not really sure which one came first, but you know the big two always have like their similar characters that are basically a little bit different. Table of contents with credits. Starts off with this black and white prologue. And then we're going to jump into the colorized stuff. So Ka-Zar back in the mix. We just got done looking at his omnibus. So you get some material here. And then we're jumping into Adventures into Fear. Was a popular title for this kind of stuff. Howard the Duck, Man-Thing, and so on. Here we go. And that's the actual cover for the DM variant as well. Man-Thing issue 1. So very cool that you get his 2 full volumes. The other stuff, the black and white stuff, to me it's like just bonus material, but the fact that you get, you know, those 2 first volumes for him is pretty cool. I've been actually wanting to read this recently, especially with how much of a fan of Swamp Thing I've become after reading his stuff, and just wanted to get into that Marvel horror supernatural kind of thing. All right, so here we go, just flipping through to take a look at what we got going on. Whoever knows fear burns at the touch of Man-Thing. From my understanding, he was a little bit more supernatural than Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing was more earthly, right? Part of the green and all that. Doesn't look like it has much bonus material in the back here. Not really. Just the letters page from Giant Size Man-Thing 1, and that's about it. All right, on to the DC books, and we got the big boy, the Flashpoint Omnibus. This was one of my most wanted Omnis to be made. I had the Flashpoint Absolute. I did a review with Fee maybe a year, almost 2 years ago. But as you know, the Absolutes don't collect the tie-ins, just the main story. So this collects not only the main story, which is the 5-issue series, it has the Flash 8-12 and all 56 tie-ins. You get the Thomas Wayne Batman stuff with the Martha Joker stuff and a slew of other things. We're going to take a look at it together right now, so let's do it. All right, here we go. So the 10th anniversary omnibus. They did that with Final Crisis as well. But here's the outside of the dust jacket. This is what basically led into the New 52. Like I said, 5-issue miniseries for Flashpoint, the Flash titles, the 56 tie-ins. This book has a $150 cover price, which is why we don't buy these at retail and we get them through sites like Organic Price Books. You got your Flash graphics on the hardcover, same type of spine. You know, DC doesn't do an omnibus unless it's super thick. So you got Reverse Flash and Flash on the cover here. Very thick book. I was letting it rest a little bit, trying to stretch the spine out a little bit. But you know how they do with these big, thick books. All right, so here we go. You have kind of like a table of contents. Doesn't give you the pages, but it does give you the issues here. Starts off with the Reverse Flash Rebirth. And it doesn't look like you get really the covers either. They give you like the virgin covers to separate the stories. I'm not really a fan of that. I wish all Omnis would just give you the actual trade dress cover in between issues so you know what you're reading. So you wanted the tie-ins, you got them. Absolute gave us the main story. Now we get all of the tie-ins, the side stories, what's going on in this twisted world of Flashpoint. A world with no Superman, with no Green Lantern, and all that twisted stuff that comes with it. You get a little grifter action there. Just flipping through to take a look at the artwork. Like Citizen Cold, he's a good guy in this storyline. Because the Green Lantern stuff, Martian Manhunter, here's Cyborg. So very cool to have all the material in one book, one-stop shop. Looks like we have some variant covers in the back. Here's the cover gallery here. That's a great cover by Art Germ. I mean, also cool to have these. I mean, to hunt down every issue in this book, every variant cover. That's why I just love this format so much. Thomas Wayne, probably the best thing to come out of Flashpoint. And there we have it. All right, last up, we have the Who's Who Omnibus Volume 1 from DC Comics. You're probably wondering what this is. Even I didn't know what it was until I got it and started flipping through it. Kind of weird how you have this yellow pages on the top that fades to the white. It's basically the same as like Marvel's official handbook omnibus. It's the encyclopedia stuff of the DC characters. We'll flip through it and take a look now. All right, then the Who's Who of the DC Universe. Very Bronze Age look here, but you have different eras of characters. You can see Nightwing, a couple different Batman. Here's the spine, Volume 1. So it looks like they plan to continue doing this. So what does it collect here? Who's Who, the definitive dictionary of the DC Universe, the 26 issues. Who's Who Update 87, issues 1 through 5, Update 88, 1 through 4, and all the annuals of 1989. This book also has a $150 cover price and is a thick book like Flashpoint. The inside of the dust jacket just continues the artwork from the front, so you get this basically gatefold type poster out of this, which is pretty cool. Then you have the same wraparound image on the actual book itself with kind of a shiny gloss to it. So what they did unique here was give you like this weathered looking yellow to white faded pages. So that was kind of interesting how they went with that. All right, flipping through, you have a very nice cover page here. Another cover page, George Perez and John Caleese. Am I saying that right? Who's Who and What's What, giving you a little synopsis of what was going on during this time. Here, here's your table of contents. Oh, actually, you know what? No, I'm tripping. This is the actual issue that breaks down the characters. So like I said, if you've seen Marvel Universe Handbook, Guide to the Marvel Universe, this is DC's answer to that. Again, not sure who did it first. You know, there's a lot of copying that the big two have done over the years. But basically, the mid to late 80s era of the DC Universe encyclopedia form. Great artwork, personal data, weapons, powers. Like I said, what you would expect out of one of those encyclopedias. So if you're not into these type of books, now you know. If you want a story, this is more like a reference book material, and kind of cool to see characters how they were during this era, like Flash, for example. You know, when you look at the Marvel ones, sometimes you go back and you're like, man, the Thing was like the strongest character in the Marvel universe forever. Here's the not original Suicide Squad, but the 80s version. And there you go. Nice shelf porn to have and to reference, you know, whenever you're bored. Once again, big shout out to Marvel Comics and David Gabriel for sending advanced copies of the Omnibus and the trade paperbacks, and big shout out to Organic Price Books. JP has quickly become another great resource for omnibus collectors. If you're looking to purchase these books online, the link for his website is in the description. Like I said, once we hit 125,000, we're going to give away this Spider-Man premium format statue by Sideshow Collectibles. All you got to do is be subscribed to this channel, hit the notification bell, leave a like and comment on this video and any other video where I promoted the giveaway. Once we hit the milestone, we'll do our regular Sunday live stream, pick a random video where I promoted this giveaway, and use a random YouTube comment generator to draw a worldwide winner. Besides subscribing, if you guys want to support the channel in other ways, check out our partner at Street Level Hero at slhla.com. They have exclusive variants every Tuesday and Thursday. Use the code GemMint to save 10% on any item in the store anytime you shop there. That code is good for life. That's all for today, but don't go anywhere. Check out my other Omnibus haul videos in the playlist to the right, and stay minty fresh. Peace.